Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Tuesday morning. It's now the 11th day of February 2025, and this is the morning briefing coming from the home weather office. And out the window, it's a bright and sunny, frosty morning once again. Another cold morning. But boy, we are talking about some rain and snow coming our way, and it's going to be a pretty good one that's going by. So we'll talk about that. But I do want to, before I get to that, I forgot to mention, I should have done this on Sunday. Yeah, so 2 days ago, Sunday, it didn't even occur to me that this channel is now 2 years old. Started February 9th on 2023. I think 50 people watched that video, something like that. But I appreciate all of those of you that have subscribed to this channel and use it on a regular basis. I hope you find it helpful. But yeah, as we start year 3 here at the Mark Finan YouTube weather channel, let's get right to it and show you what's going to be happening over the next couple of days. A clear morning, but as you can see out here, classic atmospheric river sort of pattern. I know, I see in the comments a lot of you guys don't like atmospheric river. I've kind of gotten used to it. I used to like the old Pineapple Express sort of thing. This isn't quite as tropical as others that we have seen. I'm trying to zoom down to Hawaii. So here's Hawaii. The last time we saw a nice AR, it really did come down from Hawaii. But either way, we just have that nice long fetch of moisture coming across the Pacific and eventually aimed at California. What we'll see today is clear skies in the morning with more clouds in the afternoon. There's going to be this little piece of this. It's going to slide down the coast as we head through tonight and early tomorrow. And then we wait for the main action to come in late Wednesday night and into the day on Thursday. So let's get to some model stuff. And we'll start short term and go out longer term. And I'm going to start with the HRRR because that will get us into when the main rain is going to start, as well as that little feature that's going to slide down the coast. For those of you that watched on Sunday, there were some model runs that indicated that this could brush by the valley or even the Sierra on Wednesday. This is tonight around 6 o'clock. There'll be some rain on the coast. So there'll be some rain in San Francisco and San Jose and through the Monterey area and eventually going farther south. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a sprinkle into Stanislaus County. But for the Sierra, it looks as though this is going to miss, and this is just very, very light precipitation. This is early tomorrow morning, really in the middle of the night. And then let's go to 7 o'clock Wednesday morning. Then we are getting some light rain in Southern California, but this is not going to be enough rain to cause any issues. This, again, is very light precipitation. However, Southern California is going to see better precipitation from this next round that'll come through on Thursday. So that's Wednesday morning. Like I said, 7 o'clock in the morning. Shouldn't be quite as cold, but still it's going to be a chilly morning. But with more clouds, it won't be quite as cold. This is Wednesday night. This is around 7 p.m. We are still dry. So for those of you that work outdoors, you've got all day Wednesday to work outdoors. No issues with rain, even though in the forecasts I see that various warnings and watches and whatever start on Wednesday. Keep in mind that, if you work outdoors, nothing's going to happen during the day. So this is 7 o'clock in the evening. It's still dry. And then this model is a little bit faster than others. This brings in the rain around 1 o'clock in the morning and snow in the Sierra. I'll talk about these varying snow levels here in just a second, but we are going to see nice snow in the Sierra at elevations above 6,000 feet and really good snow above 7,000 feet. However, that lower edge is going to be variable, but again, I'll talk more about that in a minute. This is as far out as the HRRR goes. And this does show solid rain first thing on Thursday morning, a gusty wind, as well as Sierra snow. So Thursday is going to be our day. But that's as far out as that model goes. If you want to go farther out in time, we've got to go to the NAM. And so with that, we will do that. The NAM shows the same thing, that little feature sliding to the south tonight. So those two models in really good agreement. And then here comes the rain starting, that's 4 a.m. So yeah, they're in good agreement on the timing. Wind, I'll go to 7 a.m. So we go ahead one more frame. So 7 a.m., this is the morning commute on Thursday morning. We have a strong southerly wind. We have snow in the Sierra at an elevation around 5,500 to 6,000 feet, meaning that in the high Sierra above 7,000 feet, it's snowing hard. probably coming down in excess of an inch an hour, maybe 2 inches an hour from time to time on Thursday morning. Another frame ahead, this is Thursday around 11 o'clock, and then this is the afternoon, and this is 4 p.m. So what's likely going to happen with this pattern is that we'll see really good rain in the morning. So it rains for maybe 4 or 5 hours in the morning. Then for the valley, it turns a little bit more hit and miss, but it certainly does not dry out. This is Thursday afternoon, and then another little wave keeps the precipitation going into Friday. This is Friday at 7 a.m., and so Friday looks more showery, but in the Sierra, the snow continues. And that's how the elevations above 6,000 feet will likely see well more than a foot of snow. And the ski areas will probably see more like 2, 3, maybe 4 feet of snow. So let's talk about total snow accumulation from the NAM. This is just kind of a broad brush. This is generally showing 3 to 4 feet. The Southern Sierra. Somebody in the comments section said I don't mention the Southern Sierra very much. The reason I don't do that is that the roads down here are closed. So while the areas down here, let's say down toward Tioga Pass, the high country of Yosemite, might see 5 feet of snow or something. It's it's not like it's going to impact Highway 120 or Highway 108 because those are closed anyway. So yeah, we're going to see some really good snow in the Sierra, but this doesn't do a very good job of telling you where that snow is, let's say, or how much you're going to get at 5,000 feet. But in terms of rain, total rain accumulation, yep, this looks good. 1.82 for Sacramento. For the west slope, we're talking something around the range of maybe 3 inches of water. And then again, this is having a tough time delineating between what's happening down at 3,000 feet and what's happening higher up. But with 4 inches of water or so, that's how you can get 4 feet of snow. So yeah, it's going to be a good one for the Sierra, much needed. This is going to be great for our snowpack. Let's talk a little bit about the wind. I do think we're going to see some pretty good winds, although the models are a little bit lower than what we were looking at yesterday. I still think we're going to see gusts around 50. This is Thursday before the sun comes up. I'm using the NAM nest for this. This is Thursday morning around 6 a.m. on the east side of the valley. So once again, it's the same areas that see the strongest winds with a storm like this. It is from Calaveras County through Amador, El Dorado County, Placer County, through Sacramento County and San Joaquin County. And generally, if you draw a north-south line from I-5 to Highway 49, those are the areas that see the strongest winds, other than the crest of the Sierra or other really exposed points in the Sierra. For the lower elevations where we're worried more about potential power outages and that sort of thing, it's those locations between I-5 and Highway 49, generally from, let's say, Stockton to Chico. But that include places like Auburn and Roseville and El Dorado Hills and Folsom and Cameron Park and all those sorts of spots in here. And Ione. Ione gets a lot of wind. Rancho Cordova gets a lot of wind. Rancho Murrieta gets a lot of wind. So that's first thing on Thursday morning. It stays gusty through the morning with some gusts up around 50. I definitely think gusts of 50 are quite likely with this. And then gradually in the afternoon, it's still breezy, but the strongest winds are behind us, but it will still be breezy. But in terms of the potential for damaging winds, like we were talking about yesterday, I think that's really going to be Thursday morning. So if you don't have any wind issues, most likely by, let's say, 2 in the afternoon on Thursday, you're probably not going to have anything in the way of wind issues. So yeah, looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the 500 millibar chart because we can go farther out in time and you'll see a different view of how this storm is going to look. Here's that cold flow that we've had around for a while, making for these chilly mornings. As we head into the day tomorrow, here's that low coming by. Nice deepening low, brings in some good precip. Now we're getting into the day on Saturday. Yep, this is Saturday. So ridge comes in on Saturday. Sunday is dry. There could be a little system going by to the north on Sunday that provides some clouds, but I don't think we'd see any rain. And then into next week, we are also dry. Big ridge. Yeah, so next week looks pretty uneventful for a while. So this rain that we're going to get probably going to be the last that we're going to see for a little while, at least in terms of anything substantial. Now, I did look at what this could mean for the valley floor with the additional rain we're going to see. Because we have seen rain recently, the ground is a little bit wet. I do think that areas like, let's say, Deer Creek, Scott Road, that one, flooded last time, goes up over the road. Wouldn't be surprised if by Thursday afternoon or Friday morning we see that again. The Casumnas is forecast to go up above monitor stage, but for those of you in Wilton, it's not going to be any higher than it was recently, so I don't expect to see any issues on the Casumnas. But I would think that by Thursday afternoon and into Thursday night, on the valley floor, there could be, big puddles here and there and that sort of thing, just because it's going to rain pretty hard for a while, for a short period of time. I did want to show you one other thing that I should have called up ahead of time, but I didn't. So just give me 1 second here. Because I want to talk about is the snow levels, because they are going to bounce around a little bit. So for that, I'm going to do that deep dive into the extracted data that I showed last week, because this is going to be a little bit interesting with these snow levels. I'm almost there. Okay. All right, let's switch back over here. All right, a big maze of numbers. Yes, I know this looks really, really appealing. But this is what we look at. So this is the extracted data for Auburn. So in other words, it takes this is the NAM, and it converts it to this, numbers broken out into 6-hour periods throughout 84 hours, which goes out way out here. And these are various parameters down the side. So in other words, this line is 6-hour accumulation of rain. And this is the kind of thing that I was talking about in terms of getting a lot of rain at once. So in Auburn, this is Thursday morning. In the previous 6 hours, you've had 0.39 inches of rain. The next 6 hours, you get an inch of rain. And the next 6 hours after that, you get a half an inch and another half an inch. So yeah, that's how the foothills end up with, more than 3 inches of rain. But it's that inch of rain you get in 6 hours that is really Thursday morning and into early afternoon that could be an issue in terms of like street flooding and that sort of thing. But the line that I wanted to talk about here is the freezing level, because interesting things happen here as a weather system comes inland, especially when something comes into this dry air that we've been in right now. So I'm going to pay attention to this line right here. So this is how high in the atmosphere you'd have to go up to find 32 degrees or 0 degrees Celsius. Discounting first thing in the morning when we have frost and that sort of thing. So look at what happens here with the freezing level. It's at 6,600, goes up to 7,600, comes back down to 6,800, 6,259, that sort of thing. So what happens is that when you initially have precipitation coming in, you can sometimes get what's called evaporational cooling. So as the air is very dry, the incoming rain actually helps to cool the atmosphere. And some of you saw this last week when you saw an initial burst of snow as the precipitation started, and then it changed over to rain. That was the atmosphere getting cooled by the rain that's falling but evaporating. The evaporational process helps to cool the atmosphere, and eventually, so what can happen is any precipitation that falls can actually fall as snow at a lower elevation, and then you see everything kind of settle in. But what we're going to see here likely is that snow level go up as we get just before some of the heavier precipitation, and then most likely into the day Friday when the snow becomes a bit more showery. Then we'll see snow down to 5,000 feet and maybe a little bit down to 4,000 feet. But it doesn't look as though we're going to see big accumulating snow at 4,000 feet. We may see some in Plumas County around 4,500 to 5,000 feet. But really, when you hear about, the Sierra is going to see 2 to 4 feet of snow, for those of you at 4,000 feet, that's not you. For those of you at 5,000 feet, that's not you. For those above 7,000 feet, that's you. So that's why Sierra travel is going to be difficult on Thursday and throughout much of the day Friday. Friday will be a somewhat easier day, but combined with traffic, the heavy snow that they've had, give Caltrans a while to clean up the roads, all that sort of thing. You just know the drill. It takes a while to get through the Sierra while it's snowing. And by the weekend, the roads will be just fine. And for the valley, there may be some implications in terms of wind damage on Thursday morning, and we could see some modest amounts of street flooding. Streams and creeks and certainly rivers will be able to handle this quite well. All in all, a pretty beneficial weather system coming our way in terms of needed rain and, more importantly, needed Sierra snow. So most of that's going to happen on Thursday and into the day on Friday. In the meantime, today looks nice this morning. A few more clouds later on this afternoon. That's everything I have for you on this Tuesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.